Alright folks, Acid Roots Wired here. This is where we left off in episode 2 of Rise to Honor. Now, I went ahead and recorded after beating this stage. That's what episode 3 is, but we're not going to get to that until we get about 2.5 minutes into this episode. So I forgot that I didn't record all of the gameplay from the last stage, so we've got a little bit of extra stuff. But this is just basically a double boss fight. And it's kind of to keep you on your toes. So don't, I mean, really, the game is trying to want you to learn how to use the R3 joystick to hit both the opponents, because the enemies in this game aren't going to wait for you to finish fighting one before they'll attack. So, and of course, boss characters. There'll probably be other ones. I don't know how many, but maybe there won't. But it kind of makes this fight a little bit trickier just because there's only one of you. And really, I just would kind of have to say it's odd because, yeah, we might wind up fighting these guys again. But, yeah, I mean, Jet Li really doesn't have any buddies in this, so he's basically on his own. He does have, like, this one, seems like this one cat that keeps getting in trouble. Kind of reminds me of, like, the Roman dude from Grand Theft Auto 4. But, yeah. So, that was about it, just to kind of understand that those guys, I mean, we probably got them 65-70% of their health, maybe a little bit more, give or take, but, for the actual grippiness of the story, this is elsewise what's going on here. So, in a matter of 30 or so seconds, episode 3 will resume, but it's not going to have any knowledge of what I'm talking to you about right now because I did that before. So, but at least for completionist's sake, this is what you're going to see. So, just understand that. So I'm just gonna, this was recorded back in the day, so I'm just gonna promptly save, and then we will usher on with the rest of episode 3, where we do make more progress. So, alright, so, here we go. Welcome folks, Acid Roots Wired here, and welcome to another episode of Rise to Honor. Now, in this first few 40-50 seconds or so, I kind of am messing up just because I kind of didn't remember the controls, and I was trying to figure it out, but we do get started, and I kind of show the loading of going to the stage. So this is just kind of like a little bonus segment of just me being like the enemy's pincushion for a while. But yeah, there's been some stuff. I'm trying to think of what music-wise has been going on, but we'll get to that. So what has been happening here? So yeah, I've been kind of listening to music and stuff. It's been some holiday releases. New Adele came out. Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak's new CD came out. Stuff like that. I mean, those are a couple of the big releases. But, I mean, really it's been a relatively quiet year. And that's just kind of the thing, is the more I think about it, the more I've been kind of wanting stuff. But I don't know, I just have to go in new directions, and that's kind of the problem. You reach a point where you develop like rapport and trust with people, but then that's kind of the concept of music, is just being able to be a social butterfly and float from one entity to the next. And that's kind of the thing. I mean, just imagine the folks who have been like messing with Snoop Dogg since like 1993 or something, when he first was around. And I mean, eventually people have to make the grounds to say, okay, I need to start messing with other people. Now, obviously, it's not as drastic in like the Snoop Dogg situation, but it just feels like nowadays you have to constantly be willing to try new things in the art of music, and that's just kind of an extra thing there. I don't know. I mean, I do like when folks can make it to like the second and third album, and especially when the subsequent albums are better than like the first couple ones. I don't know, I just get kind of tired of the concept of everyone saying that like the early days are usually a musician's best. I mean, there have to be more folks that can break that template. I don't know. It's common. I mean, that's why music gets boring to me. That's basically a reason as to why a channel like this was kind of created. It's because it's just, There's always some popular opinion, and I just wonder about it sometimes. But so yeah, basically, if you're trying to follow the game here, I mean, the gun controls are different than the actual martial arts controls, and you don't run out of ammo in the gun, so that's something to kind of note. Is this guy? I mean, really, it's awkward shooting your weapon towards the screen rather than away from it. So that's why this guy is mauling me, is because the controls. I mean, this game is really not like a classic game. I mean, it's a fun rental and it's a solid game, but it's not like one of the absolute best games for the PlayStation 2. It's just, to me, it was a good rental and just a nice weekend number where you kind of messed around with it. But it does have its flaws, and partially that's just kind of the gameplay. I mean, I really feel like this game was just designed as a rental. It really knew that you probably weren't going to play this game 5 years later, 8 years later, or something like that. You beat the game once or twice, and then you take it back to the game store and get some of your money back and move on. I mean, really, Jet Li never did another game like this. I kind of wish that he would have done another one for the PS2 or at least the PS3, something like that. But, you know, really, I mean, Jet Li was fairly popular in the 2000s. He had a nice buzz about him. It made sense that he did a game like this, but that was just kind of the whole thing there. It was just so short-lived. So, but yeah, I mean, really, I used to kind of follow Jet Li movies. I did see Romeo Must Die, or no, I saw a different one. It was, I don't remember which one it was. It was one of the ones that he dropped like in, I think it was, I own the movie around here somewhere. I don't know what happened to it, but it wasn't the one with Aaliyah. It was the one he did like it was like Kiss of Something. I don't remember, but yeah, he did that one. And I mean, those movies were good. I mean, that's definitely the thing. There's really no martial arts like hero that just does action movies. I don't know where they went. I mean, Jet Li kind of quit doing them about 2005, 2007 or so, but I just don't understand why we don't have more, you know, why Jet Li doesn't have like a kid and taught his kid how to fight and said, hey, you can make like $30 million a year just doing action flicks where you get your ass kicked and whip people's asses. Like, you know, Jet Li Jr. or whatever he'd call him. Something like that. That's just kind of the thing, so. But yeah, I'm just things are kind of up in the air. I've got plans for Acid Roots, the main channel, but this kind of depends upon how things are going. I'm just kind of taking it easy, you know. But there's definitely going to be some stuff, and yeah, I'm just kind of storing videos right now, and you know, they will surface. I just kind of feel like, I mean, this has been a pretty explosive year. I mean, really, I reviewed a lot of music this year, and there's been plenty of that's kind of gone around. But I mean, as far as it having like a lasting effect, I don't know like the particular stuff out of, you know, 2021 that I could really say was dominant. Like, I did enjoy MGK's Tickets to My Downfall, but that actually came out in 2020, and really that record ran out of steam pretty quickly. I mean, I thought that I was going to listen to that into, like, the spring and summer of 2021, but I didn't. Really, MGK basically had promoted that project since, like, early 2020, and then it showed up in September of 2020, and then basically he quit promoting it before 2021 even happened. So I don't really like that approach. I wish that it would have been the other way around and he would have like promoted it into 2021, but this is kind of the thing there. I can't think of too many other records that I really was just ecstatic about. It just was kind of few and far between. I mean, there just was not a lot of stuff. I mean, I kind of like Jaden, but I mean, some of this trap stuff is I don't know. I mean, I'm just really trying to figure out. I need to listen to more stuff and kind of keep my options open as far as what to think of some of this. But, I mean, I am getting kind of tired of, like, you know, just these kind of good singles but crap albums kind of formula. It's just not the most pleasing aesthetic that I would have to agree with. So I would like I mean, if we could get like an album that could get to like the 4th single, have like 3 or 4 other hits out of 15 or 17 on there that are good, I would take that. I mean, that's how Ludacris used to do. I don't remember Ludacris ever having like any classic albums, but he had album cuts that were good. You think of songs like Blueberry Yum Yum. Trying to think of a few other ones. Pimpin' All Over the World was like a real late single. Blow It Out, you know, from Chicken and Beer, that was a nice one, even though that was kind of an awkward song, but like Splash Waterfalls was like a surprise hit. So there just were tons of records like that just, you know, the album was out, but it just kind of surprised you, and the singles don't do that anymore. They just kind of tease you all up front, and then in some cases, if it takes the album like 16 months to come out after the singles have started, they may not even be on the album, and that really gets on my nerves. Like, you know, not to throw G-Eazy under the bus, I know he's going through crap right now, but I really liked his song Provide. I went to a couple music venues this summer, and I remember hearing his song Provide, which had a nice sample of like the Return of the Mac song, but then he didn't put it on his newest album. And I didn't like that. I mean, that was a good song. I should have been on the project, but he chose not to, so I don't know. I mean, I don't like when artists will get like their biggest charting hit in like a long time, but then they won't throw that on the album because it came out 8 months before it. So that's just kind of the thing. I mean, there's been other musicians that have done that. There's a lot of people just dropping like willy-nilly kind of random songs, and then it just has no real attachment. It's just not fun to me. I mean, the concept of music, you're supposed to have albums that kind of go with that, but... So yeah, this episode's already almost over, and that was a real nice scene. I mean, you gotta understand, Jet Li would have to be in real shape to be able to do that. I mean, only a video game could do that, where you run up a truck or a semi and jump up to a platform like 12 feet in the air. So, yeah, so, alright, whole thing about it is, you know, just stay tuned for the eventual part 4. I'm not quite as sure when that's going to happen, but this is just like an extra jolt just to kind of get you through if you happen to be a fan of this playthrough. So, I'm thinking of y'all, just stay tuned for it, and, you know, we'll get more of these materialized, but yeah.